welcome back to my channel. My name's Alison and it's really lovely to have you here with me today. I'm going to do another book haul. This is another charity shop book haul. Only 3 shops this time, but one of them massive stack from one shop. So let's get stuck in. So the first 2 books are from the St Giles Hospice bookshop. Locally we've got a specific St Giles Hospice bookshop. So these are 2 books I've been looking for a while. The bookshop there is a little bit more expensive than other charity shops, but these are 2 books that I've wanted for a while. So the first one is The Hobbit. So I've been wanting to read The Hobbit for a while. I read it when I was a child at school. So I'll just give you, as usual, I'll do a little bit of the synopsis on the back, the blurb on the back, and then maybe you might find a book that you'd like to read too. So this one just says, Smaug certainly looked fast asleep when Bilbo peeped once more from the entrance. He was just about to step out onto the floor when he caught a sudden thin ray of light under the drooping lid of Smaug's left eye. He was only pretending to sleep. He was watching the tunnel entrance. So whisked from his comfortable hobbit hole by Gandalf the Wizard and a band of dwarves, Bilbo Baggins finds himself caught up in a plot to raid the treasure hoard of Smaug the Magnificent. Smaug, not sure. A large and very dangerous dragon. So lots of you will know this anyway from the movie. You know, you'll recognise the story. So the other one that I wanted, because I've got 2 more from this person, from Jessie Burton, is The Miniaturist. So The Hobbit was £2, this one was £1.50. So I've been looking for this one for a while because I've got 2 of the others and I wanted to read this one first. So on an autumn day in 1686, 18-year-old Nella Ortman arrives at the Grand House in Amsterdam to begin her new life as a wife of wealthy merchant Johannes Brandt. Though curiously distant, he presents her with an extraordinary wedding gift, a cabinet-sized replica of her home. It's to be furnished by an elusive miniaturist whose tiny creations ring eerily true. As Nella uncovers the secrets of her new household, she realises escalating dangers they face. The miniaturist seems to hold their fate in her hands, but does she plan to save or destroy them? So this has been made into a TV show as well. I don't know the story. I've not watched the TV show, so I'm looking forward to reading this one, so that then I can read the other 2 as well. So the next 3 are all from the YMCA shop. So our local YMCA shop does all regular books for 99p each and YA books and middle grade books for 50p each. So this first one is called Snow Rose. I don't know anything about this book. I'm going into it blind as usual. Didn't take my glasses with me, so don't know any of the synopsis on these. So Kate is on the run with her daughter Heather. Her identity hidden and their destination unknown to the family they've left behind. She's found a place where they can live in solitude, a grand old house full of empty rooms and dark secrets. But they're not alone, for there are strange old ladies in the cottage next door, Mattie and her sister Sissy. They know what happened here long ago and are curious about Kate. How long can she hide Heather's presence from them? When an eccentric band of newcomers arrive, led by the charismatic Archer, Kate realises that the past she's so desperate to escape is about to catch up with her, and inside the house, history is beginning to repeat itself. Ooh, sounds like it might be a little bit spooky, this one. So yeah, maybe an autumn winter read, because I like to read the more spooky things in the autumn. So the third one is a YA book. So this one was 50p and it's called The Fall. Now this is based on, it's a YA based on The Fall of the House of Usher, which is a Edgar Allan Poe classic book. Bit of a spooky type of book. So she spent her life fighting fate and she thought she was succeeding until she woke up in a coffin. Ushers die young. Ushers are cursed. Ushers can never leave their house. A house that haunts and is haunted. A house that seems to have a mind of its own. Madeline's only chance of escape lies in destroying the house. but to do that she risks destroying everything she loves. So it says it's a gripping psychological thriller that's reimagining Edgar Allan Poe's classic The Fall of the House of Usher. So yeah, this is going to be a nice Halloweeny, October-y read, I think, by the sounds of it. And because it's a YA, hopefully it's not going to be too big a read either. So the next books that I got all from one shop. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 books here. We've got a shop locally, the Marlene Reed Centre shop. I went in there as usual, looking through the shelves. They've got loads and loads of bookshelves in there, and the books I thought were 50p each. So I'm looking through, getting all the books, and a lady from the till came in with a carrier bag and said, you can fill a carrier bag for £1 if you like. So yeah, obviously I was going to do that. I managed to get 10 books in the carrier bag, so you know, I did really well there. Let me just drag them over. So there's a real sort of mixture of books here, but you know, couldn't leave them behind for that kind of money. So the first one I actually think is a middle grade book. I'm not sure, but I think it's a middle grade book, and it's called The Tunnels, Roderick Gordon and Brian Williams. So 14-year-old Will Burrows lives with his family in London. He has little in common with them except for a passion for digging, which he shares with his father. When his father suddenly disappears down an unknown tunnel, Will decides to investigate with his friend Chester. Soon they find themselves deep underground, where they unearth a dark and terrifying secret, a secret which may cost them their lives. So yeah, that sounds like a nice little read, maybe a little spooky read again, we'll see. The next one, a nice little one for coming up to Christmas. So this one's The Chocolate Lover's Christmas by Carol Matthews. I think this is one of those, you know, just those gentle, easy read type books. So let's see. I'm a Carol Matthews Addict by Mary Berry. So Christmas is just around the corner, but the women of the Chocolate Lovers Club, a Chocolate Lovers Club, feel like that's something I should be a member of. So the members of the women of the Chocolate Lovers Club have more to worry about than present shopping. Lucy loves running Chocolate Heaven, but she hasn't spent any time with her boyfriend Aidan in weeks. And when her ex-fiancé turns up and things become even more complicated. Nadia hasn't let herself get close to a man in a long time, yet she can't help feeling drawn to Jacob. Will he be the last chance for a happy ending? Chantal and her husband Ted are besotted with their baby daughter Lana, but Chantal isn't sure that that's enough to base a marriage on. Autumn is dealing with a tragedy that has hit too close to home, but when she doesn't get the support she needs from her fiancé, will she look elsewhere for comfort? So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 different women. I'm guessing it's following the story of these 4 different women. Seems like a romance book, just lots of different relationships going on there. So can friendship overcome all in The Chocolate Lover's Christmas? We'll see. I will read that at Christmas, and I am a huge fan of anything to do with chocolate. So the next one again I think is also a middle grade book. So this one's Wintercraft Black Watch by Jenna Burtonshaw. So let's have a look what this one's about. Albion's skilled community have long feared the dark practices detailed in the Book of Wintercraft. Only one girl is powerful enough to manipulate its secrets, and now the book is in her possession. Kate Winters is on trial, falsely accused of murdering the skilled leader. Shunned by her own kind, Kate can see no escape, and worse, a sinister threat is arraying outside the underground caverns where she's being kept. The continent's elite assassins, known only as Blackwatch. Silas Dane is also hunted by Blackwatch in the war against Albion. The continent is keen to explore Kate's power, and they know that Kate and Silas are inextricably linked. Time is running out. Can Kate and Silas halt the dark forces at work, or will the web of deceit surrounding Wintercraft ensnare them? So that's actually quite a small book, so that might be a nice little in-between read. Blackwatch. The next one, I picked this one up basically because I thought well, I liked the title, but also I thought the cover was really cute. Not cute, it isn't, it really isn't cute, but it's a nice cover. So The Poison Garden by Sarah Singleton. It's really not cute, but I did think it was a lovely cover. Again, this might be either a YA or a middle grade book. Oh, it's won the Book Trust Teenage Prize, so it's probably a YA. So Thomas has inherited a magical box from his dead grandmother, which provides entry into a mysterious garden where ghosts warn him she was poisoned. For once, she belonged to an arcane guild whose members each cultivated a garden and mastered the arts of poison, perfume and medicine. The remaining guild members jostle for power as one by one they are murdered. Can Thomas solve the mystery before he in turn is threatened? So yeah, I love things about gardens. And this one's a poison garden, so it's a little bit different to the gardens I normally read about. The next one is, it's quite a common book, and I absolutely love the film, and this looks like it's never been read, to be honest. So it's Interview with the Vampire by Anne Rice. So in a darkened room, a young man sits, telling the macabre and eerie story of his life. The story of a vampire gifted with eternal life and cursed with an exquisite craving for human blood. So if you've never watched the movie, it's very good. Hoping that the book runs quite similar, but we shall see, because books are often very different to the movies. The next one is, again, just liked the look of the cover. So this is The Lace Reader by Brunonia Barry. And it says on the front, a haunting tale and an enchanting literary thriller. So that kind of piqued my interest too. I'm quite liking gothic-y type scary ghost story reads at the minute. Not horror. I'm not really a big fan of horror, but the nice sort of gothic-y scary ghost stories. So Towner Whitney's great aunt Eva has suddenly disappeared, and when you've lived a life like Eva's, that could be bad. It has taken something this serious to get Tower back to her hometown of Salem, Massachusetts, notorious for the witch trials held there 3 centuries ago. Because when she was 15, Towner got a glimpse into the future, a future without her twin Linley. Haunted by the tragedy, she ran from her family, her gift and her past. Now the present might just destroy her. At the top it says clairvoyance, abuse, religion, and an ending that makes us look back at the entire novel with fresh eyes. That's The Guardian that said that. So yeah, that's again, got a lot of books here that I want to read sort of October time that are a little bit spooky, scary. Maybe some of them will have to go into November as well. But that sounds really interesting. I like the sound of that. Next one is for my daughter. Even though she's in her early 20s, she was a huge Jacqueline Wilson fan when she was younger. And this is a book that she just didn't happen to get at the time that she wanted to read. So that was there. It was going in the bag for £1. So yeah, she wanted that one. On the back it just says, roll up for the amazing tale of Hetty Feather, sorry. Gasp as she is abandoned as a baby, shudder at the hardship she suffers, wonder at her search for her real mother. Hetty Feather is the most compelling tale Wilson has told. Simply the best, truly brilliant. That's what it says on the back. So yeah, this one's a younger read, but she just wanted to read it. This one piqued my interest because one of my favourite books is Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. And this one is saying that it's a sequel to that, although it's written obviously by someone else. So this is Susan Hill, Mrs. De Winter, and it's quite a hefty book actually. I mean, the writing's quite big, but yeah, it's quite a big book. So the undertaker's men were like crows, stiff and black, and the cars were black, lined up beside the path that led to the church. And we too were black. We stood in our pathetic, awkward group, waiting for them to lift out the coffin and shoulder it, and for the clergyman to arrange himself. And he was another black crow in his long cloak. And the real crows rose suddenly from the trees and from the fields, whirled up like scraps of blackened paper from a bonfire and circled, cawing above our heads. I should have found it an eerie, melancholy sound on such a day, but I did not. Their cry brought a lift of joy to my heart, as the cry of the owl the previous night and the distant roar of the seagulls at dawn had done, and the tears rose up at the same time to choke me. It is real, I said. It is now. We are here, home. Well, if that's an excerpt from the book, I really like that style of writing. That sounds great. So I am actually very much looking forward to this. But I do want to, in October, I do want to reread Rebecca. So I think I will do that and then read this one straight after. I think that would be really nice, actually, in October. So I'm trying not to read it now, even though I really, really want to. Out of all these books, that's the one that I want to actually get my hands on the most. So just a light-hearted book again to go into the that bag for £1. So Miranda Hart, Is It Just Me? I love Miranda, love her on the TV. Thought this would be a really lovely little light-hearted book, something funny to read on those dark nights. I'm sorry, my light seems to have just gone off. So for the last book, you've got me in a little bit of shade. So the very last book, and I was really pleased to get this one, Hannah, the complete story. So this is the story of Hannah Hawkswell, and she lived her entire life in the cottage that she was born in, that her parents lived in. She never had any running water or electricity or anything like that, but she was really, really happy. She led a really happy life there. She had to trail out every day to go and get her water, whatever the weather, even in the snow, right until she was elderly. And then people found her and picked her up, and then for the last few years of her life, she travelled the world and was interviewed and things like that. So I know a little bit of a story. I've seen little bits of YouTube videos, but I'm very, very interested to read the rest of that and to really get the story. It's by Barry Cockcroft, but I don't know whether she has some input into it as well. So you can see a picture of her there with her cow. She tended her animals and did all of these things just on her own. She lived there on her own after her parents died. So she had an absolutely amazing life, and I am really looking forward to reading more about that. So that's the end of all of the books for this month. I hope you found something in there that you like the sound of, something that maybe you'd like to read too. If you've read any of these books, I'd be really, really interested to hear what you think about them, whether you liked them, whether you didn't. Please comment below. And I'll get back to you on those comments. But yeah, I would really love to hear from any of you that have read any of those books already, especially Mrs. De Winter. If any of you have read that one and can tell me whether it's as good as I'm hoping it's going to be, then I would really appreciate that. Okay, so thank you for joining me today. I hope you'll join me again. If you like this video, as always, give it a little thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more of my videos, please like and subscribe and click the notification bell, and that will let you know when I'm going to be uploading more videos. So thanks again, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.